Hi guys, I just thought I'd jump on here quickly and give you a bit of a rundown of where we've been, what we've been up to, where we're going. So this video is not going to be a normal weekend video. It's going to be a very, very talky one. I'll just show you around the shop, show you a couple of the things that we've got going on, and like I said, what we've been up to really. So if that's not for you, feel free to skip on this video. There's not going to be any actual working on the cars. It is just going to be a chatty one. As always, keeping things open, transparent, and letting you know where we are essentially with things. So yeah, the reason I've done this to a certain extent, we've had a fair few messages off of you guys, which I really appreciate. Some of you will have seen our Facebook and Instagram posts recently just to say that the shop is shut. Don't worry guys, we're not going anywhere. Basically what that meant, or what the reason that I've done that for, is we are now shut to any everyday repairs, scrapes, scuffs, scratches, that sort of thing. Yes, I'll take a few of them on, but we are to a certain extent restructuring the business. I've had a fair few things going on outside of work as well. Life happens, doesn't it, at the end of the day? So, you know, dealing with things, moving on. But no, we're not going anywhere. We are flat out busy. In all honesty, I think we are booked out until March, April sort of time, and that's without shuffling things around too much. As a lot of you will know, we take on a lot of work like this, but they're not under any massive strict time deadlines, and that's just not the way that we work here. Yes, if there's a customer that comes to me and says I need it done within this certain time frame, we will always work to that as best as we can. But things happen, things get pushed on, so we don't take jobs on with any strict and urgent time frames. But anyway, let me just show you around the shop and show you what we've been up to, like I said. So obviously the Cosworth is back in here, the Cosworth replica. This is going to be one of the next ones on the list of things to get done. You can probably hear the booth going in the background. That is the last of the R33 panels for the Skyline that we've got next door. That's very, very close. There'll be a separate video to that one coming out relatively soon, probably next weekend now, after everything is all said and done, finished and put back together. And then we are going to be on this and the Jensen. We've got a Jensen Interceptor, as some of you guys will remember from quite some time ago. Those will be the next two jobs being pushed through at pace. I'll show you next door briefly. I am going to change the contrast settings and everything on this now because I don't want to give anything away with this one. It's in its final stages, nowhere near done just yet. But yeah, final stages. It is in color now. You might not be able to tell in the video. I don't know what settings I'm going to use. But yeah, all in color. Obviously, we've done the engine bay, whole shell. We've got all the parts in here now, apart from what's in the booth, as I mentioned. None of this has been polished yet. None of this has been flattered down and polished. This is just straight out of the booth. This is the most exciting time for me as well, when we start getting all the parts back in here, ready for reassembly. That's the part that I really, really enjoy, to be fair. Start to see everything coming together then. But yeah, for the most part, come out really nicely. Like I said, a couple of nibs and bits and pieces. We haven't flattened polished to this just yet. Yeah, coming along. As I said, just the last remaining bits on the Skyline in the booth. The booth windows are dirty, so you can't really see very well, but they've not been cleared yet, so I've just got them sitting there for another 30 minutes or so, just to flash off a bit. It is a wall space system, as you know, so it doesn't really need a flash time, but it helps, especially when it's a wet, miserable day like this. But yeah, they'll be cleared next. I'll show you in here as well. Excuse the mess, guys, as always as well. We do try our best to keep the shop as clean as we possibly can, but it is very, very difficult. Jensen, as I mentioned before, although it may not look like it, this is actually very, very close to, this will be speeding through now like you wouldn't believe. This is very close to its next poly stage in epoxy. Sand that off, another poly round, sand that off, into primer, sand that off, into paints. So actually we're not far away at all with this one. Been a bit of a project. We've had it for a fair amount of time, in all honesty. But yeah, the most part of the bodywork is actually done on this now. Capri, as you know, is here at the moment. I don't think I've done a follow-up video on this one just yet. Oh, here it is now. Basically, these two boxes here, absolutely full to the brim of replacement panels and parts for this one. So we will be taking on this one in-house. It's having new inner and outer sills. Do you know what? I'm not even going to mention everything it's having. It's having an absolute enormous amount of parts. I think I do have some photos of the parts just laid out on the floor. I'll insert them in a second if I can find them. But yeah, we're doing this one the right way, so replacement panels or nothing. I'm not really making any repair panels. I'll do a couple of little bits and pieces here and there, but for the most part we are replacing absolutely everything that needs it, even things like this where you've had a patch in there before, but we're just going to replace that whole scuttle piece. You'll remember the wings were the worst. They are the only things which haven't turned up yet, but they're coming in a few months' time. And again, A-posts, you know, everything is being replaced. So we will be taking care of that one in-house. It's going to be with us for some time, but yeah, really looking forward to getting going with that one. A Kev project. So you'll know Kev from MRM Speed Shop. This one was dropped off with us a few days ago. Apparently he told me about it. I'm not aware, but I knew it was coming at some point. I didn't know it was quite coming this soon, but this is a project for the springtime, so we'll get this done, well, before spring is when he wants it back. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get that done. It's not got a huge amount of issues, just a few bubbling bits and pieces here and there. We'll have to look and see what's going on with those. The more you look, the more it's got, but it's nothing major, I don't think. You know, down here's the sort of worst sort of areas. Boot, this sort of thing. And again, full colour change. I think he's going for a similar colour, but just nicer than that. Actually looks, in all honesty, it's looking nicer in the camera here than it does in person in this sort of weather. In the sunlight, it's lovely, but we want to try and find a colour which is nice in all weather conditions. Yep, that one's here at the moment anyway. And I think I've got one last thing to show you, which is back outside. And it will be staying outside as well a little bit. I've got the space, as you guys can see. This is one that I've picked up for myself. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with this. I couldn't say no. For the price that I got it for, I couldn't say no. They don't make these kits anymore in any case. It is a Toyota MR2 with a 360 style body kit on it, as you can see. No, it's not trying to be a Ferrari, it's not trying too hard. I think it's about 20 centimetres too short in that quarter there. In all honesty though, for the rest of it, if you space the wheels out and get the ride height looking good, the rear end looks very, very good. Front end looks good as well, but it's just from the side, the proportions aren't quite right. So, yeah, not quite sure what I'm doing with this one just yet. Might sell it as it is. Again, the price that I bought the thing for, it was worth doing. Might sell it as it is, might do it up and sell it as a complete car. Either way, I'm not going to be keeping it. It's just a little project, as if I haven't got enough projects going on. But yeah, we'll see. Will be a nice looking thing when it's done. If anyone's in the market for one of these, let me know. There might be a deal to be done. Excuse the brief cut off there, guys. Someone came to talk to me pretty quickly, so I had to cut the camera. Anyway, that's about it, guys. Like I said, just a very chatty video, just to let you know where we're at and what we're up to, where we've been, etc. I've got a lot more cars coming in as well, so we've got more on the books, more interesting things turning up. But for the most part, we are... Skyline is going to be done in the next few days. That will be on a separate video, like I said. Then the Jensen and the Cosworth will be up next. My little projects in the background. They'll get done at some point, I'm sure. Just wanted to have a quick catch up and say we're not going anywhere. We are still here. We have plenty of work still on. Yeah, follow along the channel. You'll see what we're up to. Hope you're all good, guys. We'll catch up next week. I will do my best to try and get back to some of the comments on YouTube and start posting more frequently. Just bear with me, but we'll get there. Try and keep pushing this content out for you. Because I've said before, those of you who like it seem to really enjoy it. So I'll do my best.